Hey guys, today I'm going to teach you how to navigate the underground bunker system at Reserve. In my opinion, it's one of the coolest areas in the game, but one of the hardest to master, because right when you step foot in that bunker, it essentially feels like a maze. I've seen some different 3D models of the bunker system, but honestly, those just all confuse me. So I challenged myself to make a simple representation of the bunker system and explain how I navigate through it. So hopefully it ends up helping you out. Let's jump into it. As we all know, the first time you enter the bunker system at Reserve, it's not the most inviting place. With the loud hum of the ventilation system and the pitter-patters of rats in the distance, the bunkers can be a very intimidating place. But if you're able to master it, you'll have a big advantage over your opponents and be able to navigate Reserve with ease. So with my help and some practice, you should be a master of the tunnels in no time. So the map you're about to see is a 2D representation of the underground bunker system in Reserve. It's not 100% accurate, and it's my depiction of what I think is easiest for the player to understand. And like I mentioned before, I just can't really grasp 3D models of this map that some people have provided. They look really cool, but in the end, they kind of just confuse me. So if you're anything like me, this two-dimensional version should be a lot easier to conceptualize as I break down the different areas. So there are 14 different ways to get to the underground portion of Reserve. But where do these entrances lead? As you can see, there's two different bunker systems in Reserve. On the right hand side, you have the one that's primarily positioned under the train station. This is a very simple, rectangular shaped bunker, and it's very easy to navigate. There's 4 different entrances for it, and it doesn't take very long to learn. On the left hand side, you have the main bunker system, which leads up to the D2 extract and the dome. This bunker system is much more populated and a lot more dangerous. It's located directly under the helicopter and in between the pawn buildings and King. This is the main portion of the underground system that we're going to be focusing on. So what you're looking at now is what I would consider the main portion of this bunker system. It's the lowest level, and it's what every tunnel leads to. This is where you're going to find the offices, the power to D2, a marked room, and a lot of different loot. It's also where you're going to find the most PvP, so you have to be careful in this area. This next part is what I would consider the main tunnel that encompasses the office area. Even though it's at different elevations, I didn't want to represent that here. I wanted you to be able to realize that this tunnel goes completely around. The only place it doesn't connect is through White Pawn and Black Pawn, and I'll show you where those connections aren't made. The white parts are what represent the connections between the main tunnel and the office area. These connections can be doors, ramps, or even staircases. I just didn't want to represent a bunch of different icons and make it more confusing as you're taking this information in. The blue at the bottom right hand corner represents the flooded part of the tunnel. So if you ever find yourself lost in the tunnels and you run into the water, this should help you out in relation to where you are in the map. The rest of these white tunnels are what leads from the entrances all the way to the main tunnel. The most confusing area is near Black Bishop, where there's a lot of interweaving tunnels. The last tunnel leads to D2 Extract and the Dome. It's a branch off from the main tunnel using a staircase. So before we do a bunker walkthrough, I want to show you all the different entrances from all the different buildings. So first we're going to start at White Bishop. It's across from King, and there's 2 different staircases to get down to the tunnel from here. As you can see, that metal door is the entrance of the tunnel. So we'll go back up and around to see the other staircase. Pass through this hallway and you're right at the same door. If you look down this ramp, that leads to the water section of the main tunnel. Next, we have the entrance from King. It's on the left-hand side of the helicopter, and it's one of the main entrances I use to the bunker system. Just keep in mind, this staircase leads to one of the most dangerous parts in the bunker, so if you use it, try to sneak in, or at least listen before you go all the way through. Next, we have White Pawn. It's located behind the helicopter and is very easily confused with the Black Pawn entrances. This hallway down here is extremely similar to Black Pawn's, and until I made this guide, I often got these confused. So let's head over to the other white pawn entrance. It's a little bit more inconspicuous because it looks like a regular door that leads to a closet, but it's actually another entrance to the same tunnel. Here on the left is where you just entered before. Next up is Black Pawn. It's on the right side of the helicopter, and this is going to be a very dangerous entrance because it's right next to the marked room. I would try to avoid this area unless it's late into the match. As soon as you enter, you'll see a ramp that leads down to the main area of the bunker. So now let's head over to the other Black Pawn entrance. Just like White Pawn, this is also a very inconspicuous door. Kind of looks like a closet, but it leads right into the same tunnel. Next up, we have Black Bishop. This building is a little bit confusing because you would think that there were entrances down to the bunker from the staircases, but as you can see from the first staircase, it's completely blocked off from the bottom. And if you look through the crack, you can actually see the basement level of this building. And it's the same story for the other staircase. But there are two other entrances connected to this building. So first, you have to run around the front side of the building to get to the cafeteria. Within the cafeteria, in the corner of the building, there's a staircase that leads to the bunker. Through this door is the storage area for the cafeteria, and if you go further down the hallway is the basement level of Black Bishop, which connects directly to the main tunnel. And next, opposite of the cafeteria staircase, is a regular door that you walk through to get to the storage area of the cafeteria. Straight ahead is the door that we just looked at, and over to the left is a couple breaches through the wall that leads to the main tunnel. And the last entrance for this bunker system is up at Dome. This one's pretty far from all the different entrances that we looked at, but eventually it'll end up in the same main bunker. You'll just need to follow the path and go down this long spiral staircase. Be careful of the hole on the right side because you can fall through it and die. So now let's jump over to the other bunker and I'll quickly show you the entrances to this one. First, we have the ramp next to the hermetic door extract. I know it shows a stair icon, but it is just a ramp. If you look down this main bunker, there's going to be cages on the right side and the left side, and basically it's just a very long rectangle. If you continue on to the other side of the bunker, it's a symmetrical ramp that leads back up to the main surface. So just past the train cars on the left-hand side of the bunker is another entrance that leads to a door between the cages. If you look to the right is where the ramps are, and on your left-hand side is just a dead end. The last entrance for this bunker is right next to the oil tanks, and it's located in the first floor of the 3-story tower. This door is going to be exactly opposite of the entrance we just took. Over to the left is the ramps, and on the right is the dead end again. Since this is pretty much the entire bunker, there's not really much of a walkthrough that I need to do. And just over there is the other entrance we just took. So now I'm going to do a guided walkthrough where we go through the main tunnel, which is the red tunnel on my map, and I'm going to point out different locations as we go. This map will follow along with my location. It's not 100% accurate, but it's pretty close to where I am at that time. So if you want to go full screen, it'll help you track my movement as I move throughout this bunker. So we're starting at the king entrance, which I think is one of the most recognizable entrances to the bunker because you start on that metal staircase. I usually use that to help myself navigate through the bunkers as well. But before we take a lap around the main tunnel, I do want to show you the main bunker, which has the offices, the power switch to D2, as well as a marked room and several different crates to loot. This is where most of the PvP action is going to be down here, so I feel like it's important to emphasize the area. This is the flooded entrance to get to the offices, but it's extremely loud to go through. So now we're going to head through the offices by breaking the glass here in the commander's office and go through this back door. The right door is actually the marked room. It's actually a really terrible marked room, so I probably wouldn't bother with it. Over here on the left-hand side is the switch to turn on the power to D2. So now most of the bunker is lit up. Different lights throughout the whole bunker will be on now. Not all of them are going to be on, obviously, as there's still going to be dark spots, but it's a good indication if somebody's turned the power on if you come down here and it's lit up. So now that we have a little more visibility and the power's on, we're going to go through the main bunker again, starting from King. So what you're already going to start to notice is that my map is a simplified version of this tunnel. There's obviously doors and different corridors that I'm missing, but that's because I want to simplify the navigation for you and not get caught up on all the different side rooms and everything like that. So here's the water we were talking about earlier. The water is a really good indication of where you are in the tunnels because it's only in one area. It's going to be in the area that leads to White Bishop. So there is no quiet entrance to the tunnels without going through water from White Bishop. So we can head through the water to the back entrance of the offices, which I highly recommend never using because this water is so loud that you can hear it across the bunker. So if anybody knows you're stuck in it, they most likely are going to push you. So if we go up this ramp, on the left-hand side is going to be Black Bishop, and that's going to be the entrances from the cafeteria and the cafeteria garage, or whatever you want to call it. On the right-hand side is going to be a ramp that leads to the main bunker, and that's going to be directly left of the power switch that we just pulled earlier. Over here on our left side is another entrance into Black Bishop. This one leads at the basement of Black Bishop, and then you can go through those breach holes to get to the garage of the cafeteria. So we can head through this utility room that's going to lead us to the corridor under Black Pawn. As you can see, that's one of those inconspicuous doors we were talking about earlier. And on the right hand side is a staircase that leads to the main bunker. So let's continue down this hallway and take a look at the other Black Pawn entrance. So on the left is the main door open next to the marked room. And here's the only blockage in the main tunnel that would technically lead to the White Pawn, but it's closed off. But that's okay because we can easily use this ramp and get to a staircase that will lead us to the White Pawn corridor. On the left hand side is White Pawn staircase, but on the right hand side is the main bunker again. This is across from Power, and on the left hand side is King. But let's go ahead and go up the staircase up to White Pawn. So this staircase is going to put us in between both entrances to White Pawn. On the left hand side, you'll see that inconspicuous door we were talking about earlier. And if you continue down the hallway, that's what would normally go to Black Pawn, just like we were talking about on the other side. And as you can see, it's sealed off with a gate and a sealed door. But we'll head back towards the other White Pawn entrance. And over to the right is the staircase we just came up from main bunker, just to be clear. On the left is the other entrance to White Pond, and just down the hallway is the D2 staircase. So I'll show you the path to get to the D2 extract and the dome, but first I want to show you that we're going to end up at King, completing the loop around the bunker. So as you can see, the bunker system isn't as complex as it first looks like. I feel like the map I've provided does a pretty good job at simplifying how to navigate through this bunker. Obviously, it's still going to take some time to get used to, and you're going to get turned around here and there, but overall, it should be easier than going in blind. So let me know in the comments below if this is going to help you navigate the bunkers, and if it did, consider giving it a like. It really does help my channel grow, and it shows more people this video. And thanks if you do. So we backtracked up the ramp and went down the staircase to D2. All we have to do is follow this path and it will lead us right to D2 extract as well as the dome. A quick tip, check behind that spool for people camping, and if you shoot out this light, it's easier to see if people camping behind it. So on the right is another great place to loot, a bunch of server racks and a room back there with a safe. And on your left is D2 extract. We'll go down here real quick and show you how to get out of the map this way. But be warned, this is Rat Haven, and extract campers love this area because there's so many places to hide and you're really vulnerable in close quarters. So make sure you have plenty of nades when you're coming through here. So as long as you turn the power on like we did at the beginning of this raid, this light above will be on and you'll know that the extract is ready to be pushed. All you have to do is press the button and it'll start opening the hermetic door. It's extremely loud, so I would take a step out of the room. I skipped the door opening animation, but all you have to do is go behind the sliding door and you're good to go. But I'm still going to show you the rest of the route to get to the dome. So go back out where you entered D2, take a left and go up the left staircase, keeping the servers on your right side. This door is going to lead us down a straight tunnel to the spiral staircase. If you look above, you can see the hole in the ground at the top of the spiral that you can fall through. So let's go ahead and go up the spiral staircase. Go down this hallway, head up the stairs, and we're out of the bunker. So that's all the information I have for you guys today. I hope you learned a little bit something new, and I hope this video helps you navigate the bunkers a little bit easier. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.